Hello Pisces, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of October 15 through 28, 2024. This is a reading if you're Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, or have another significant Pisces placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. This is a full horoscope spread, so I'm reading cards in terms of the houses of astrology. Cards will be interpreted in terms of those positions. And I start with Murray Hope's Way of Cartouche as the kind of deck that's underneath all of this. And then the one that I'm clarifying with on top is Tarot. And this one is going to be the Mystical Cats Tarot. That's our deck for the week. And we'll have an extra card pull from the Essential Oil Oracle. Now, if you want to check my website below, you can check out my, which is in the description box. You can look at my website, and also my social media links are down there as well. If you are interested in following me on social media, or if you would like to check out the services that I offer on my website. I do a morning coffee with Breach every day, or most days anyway. And this is usually, might be a little later. It's usually somewhere between, usually around 7 in the morning right now, might be a little later as the sun's getting high, is rising later and later. But I do a daily tarot reading there and talk about some of my coaching, spiritual coaching stuff there. So, check that out if you're interested. And I do eventually upload those episodes here to YouTube for people who are interested. Okay, so let me just get down to things. There's a lot of astrology this month, but I kind of want to dive straight into your reading. I think what I'll summarize is by saying this is a very complicated month astrologically. A lot of landmines, Sun and Mars opposed to each other, Mars and Chiron opposed to each other, Mars and Pluto opposed to each other. Pluto opposed to the Moon, Pluto going direct in Capricorn, heading towards Aquarius. Full Moon in Aries this month, and just a lot of other aspects that are creating some very, very intense energy and the potential for misunderstandings, blow-ups, at worst violence, but it's just a very, very active month. So just be aware of that. Certainly if there's a situation that seems like you're irritated or you're ready to kind of pop off at somebody, then just when I say pop off, I mean, realizing that could have another connotation. You're about to literally just ready to run your mouth at somebody and yell at them or get angry. You might want to stop and take a deep breath and step back this month, because it just seems like our fuses are easily lit when it comes to anger and so forth. So, all right, so let me just get into your reading. Okay, so you seem to be having some self-doubt. We're starting with the Nine of Sky here, which is the Nine of Swords. So you may have been having a lot of anxiety, you may be worried about things. But at the same time, we have it with the Ankh, which is being focused on you, on what you love, on what you value. And maybe you've been running into obstacles and thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I really can't do what I love. Maybe I can't, or maybe you've been taking on too much of other people's stuff right now. But Ankh indicates there needs to be a focus on you, on what your needs are for self-care, what you need for self-love, and what you feel you legitimately and passionately want to offer to the world in terms of what your own interests and loves are. So there's a lot here about needing self-love and about releasing anxiety. Nine of Swords is generally the things that we catastrophize about but don't actually ever materialize. Now in your own Piscean house, which is the 12th house, we have Nephthys with the Fire Queen, okay? So Fire Queen, there could be some doubts about, could be doubts about your physical attractiveness, which is interesting, because Fire Queen is somebody who's seen, who is very beautiful, who is very desirable. People look at them, they have it all together. And the fact that it's showing up in the 12th house seems to indicate that maybe this is an aspect of yourself that you're hiding, or it indicates that maybe you're feeling more like you need to withdraw, like you're not as confident in yourself. And with Nephthys here, which is the Piscean card here, there definitely seems to be the sense of withdrawal and needing some time alone, or wanting to, there's a lot of things that are cloudy and that are unclear that maybe you are trying to figure out. Money also seems to be an area where there's a lack of clarity, because we have the Moon card here. And but we have it with Bast too. So Bast is, again, there's this idea about recognition or being recognized for something. There's also a strong social element to Bast as well. Doing something, there's a lot to do with happiness, with creativity. Often Bast is specifically associated with music and dance, but it does not have to be. Generally, these are both strong cards of intuition. So when it comes to your money, again, it feels like, I don't know, there may be what you see in your checking account or what you may see in your portfolio or whatever it is. And I don't know, maybe you're not feeling confident about it, or about whether you can believe what you're seeing, or maybe you have a gut feeling about something that's connected to it. We're going to look at your houses related to a job. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Okay, there does seem like for some of you that there could be a new job, or at least a change in a job situation here, because we have Scarab here. With Earth King, maybe some people have decided to go into their own business. In fact, over here in the third house, which does have to do with self-employment, we do have the Ace of C with Horus, so maybe some people have made some kind of a new start. And again, Ace of C is about working towards those things that you really authentically love, and Horus is a card of being recognized, of being popular, of people seeing you for what you have. It's also possible that some of you, if you're not going into creative work, you may be going into healing work. But yeah, there's definitely a sense of that. And Earth King certainly bodes well. This could be you, or this could be somebody else who is able to help you out with something business or financial, or it could be maybe, if you're not starting your own business, this could be somebody who's just hired you recently. But Scarab seems to indicate that there's a change or some kind of a new beginning here. Yeah, we do seem to have this very supportive element. Earth King is definitely a good omen for financial support on things, and may in fact represent a helpful person. But if I look at your 10th house here, yeah, you've got the Four of Sky again. Again, there's this idea of this cat's like curling up and just wants to kind of not be seen, wants to just kind of disappear. And we have it with Pyramid, so there's a test situation here. So yeah, it does feel like maybe you have taken a kind of a risk, financial risk. Maybe you have decided to jump out of a steady job and maybe do something that's a little more risky. I am seeing something about travel here. So I'm looking at the 9th house, and we have the 8 of Fire with air. So air, usually in this house, does indicate long distance travel. It can indicate going back to school, potentially, because air can also have to do with the intellect and with learning and communication. Sometimes there's something spiritual about it as well, because this is the house of spirituality and faith. But we have it with the 8 of Fire. So this is about doing something really, really fast. And you see the cat in here is like, taken off on the rug here. If you've owned a cat, you've seen them do this. But there's this idea of taking off really, really fast, or messages or things coming in really, really fast. So there may have been some recent change that you're making, and maybe you're wondering right now whether you made the right decision in doing something, because it does look like there may have been something that you gave up in order to go this. I mean, it could be a secure job, it could have been a relationship, it could have been something else. For some of you, I don't know if some of you have suffered a recent loss of a family member, like a parent or a grandparent or something. And again, if you haven't, please do not interpret this as an omen that somebody in your family is going to pass away. There's no such thing in tarot. But you've got Seth in the 8th house there, and you've got the Death card, there could have been a recent passing, possibly of a female person. And again, that may be just a very specific message for somebody watching. So you do not need to worry about your loved ones if everybody's, if there's, even if somebody's sick, you don't necessarily have to worry. What I have learned from years of reading is that you can never, ever, I've had family members who have passed away, and I've seen certain indications of different things going on, but I've never been able to see the actual death in the tarot cards. So I just want to be clear that does not happen. But the other possibility, though, here is that you have made some kind of a change. And again, there's this Hathor energy here. So Hathor energy is about, well, it's funny, because it is about beauty and recognition, just like the Fire Queen over here. But this can also just be somebody who's very organized, maybe somebody who is focused more on the home and family. Who knows? Maybe it's somebody who's chosen to have, maybe someone's left their career and chosen to, I don't know. I'm not seeing marriage here very strongly. Not a new marriage anyway. But it just seems like there's some kind of a change that's occurred. Like I said, there could be a female energy involved here, or there's something very, very strongly feminine here. So whether this means maybe what's upset is maybe your sense of feeling at home or feeling familiar, that could be a part of it as well. But again, with the Death card, there does seem like there's been a significant change here, and you may be just trying to find yourself. You may be trying to feel secure again in a change you've made. And maybe this change for some of you means you have gone far away, and now you're just you kind of want some time to yourself to kind of figure things out. Now, yeah, actually in the fourth house, which is your house of home and family, we have water. Yeah, so somebody here is definitely making a trip across water, or somebody has changed their living situation or their home situation. And we have the Six of Earth here. So this is a card of support. So you could have somebody who's supporting you right now. Maybe your parents or your family are supporting you in some way. Or maybe you are supporting somebody else. Maybe that's the change. Maybe you're going to help somebody else out right now. Maybe you're doing some kind of a thing where you're doing a live-in kind of a thing. I don't know. A lot of possibilities there. It's going to be different for everybody, obviously. But there's definitely the sense of like this exchange of support. Like somebody, either you're needing the support or somebody else maybe in the family needs your support, or you're moving for that purpose. Or maybe after you've moved, maybe you feel like this is what you need. Again, to have that feeling of stability again. Now, if I look at your 11th house, let's go over there. This is your friendships. This is your hopes and wishes, what you're trying to manifest. Yeah, we have Buckle of Isis with Seven of Fire. Yeah, this is a real strong message here that somebody has taken a big risk, taken a big leap of faith, and, is standing their ground with it. Seven of Fire, and, maybe there's been criticism for other people. Oh, why did you do this? Da, da, da. Oh, this was more secure, or maybe you should have done this or that. But this is definitely telling you that the effort's going to be worth it. Buckle of Isis says you've sacrificed something, and that sacrifice will be rewarded. Though right now, maybe you're not seeing it quite yet, and you're wondering whether or not that reward is going to come to fruition. But this is definitely telling you to stand your ground over here. So let's look at relationship stuff. Now, if you're not, for anybody looking for love, we have Sirius here with Earth Kitten, which is Page of Pentacles. So again, there's something about studentship here. So maybe this is about deciding to maybe take a break from work and go back to school or something. I don't know. Sirius has a strong physical element in this house. This has to do with sports sometimes and recreation. So for some of you, maybe you're dealing with a partner who is either involved in physical fitness in some way or in sports. Maybe just someone who's very physically attractive. And with this card, it could be somebody younger, or it could just be somebody who is a student. By the way, that doesn't necessarily mean they're your student. They could just be a student. But there's a strong element of that here. The other possibility for this house, if you're not looking for love, is that you may be embarking on a creative project, or maybe you're looking at a career in sport. I don't know. There's something about it here, but there's something very strongly physical, or some strong need to think outside the box and do something differently, which is the other aspect of Sirius here. So I don't know. I definitely feel like somebody's making a new plan or new start, and this could be with a relationship. Now, if I look over here in your Libra house, yeah, we do have a strong legal card here. So there does seem to be something about either a legal partnership or a partnership with somebody who has some kind of authority. So I don't know, maybe for some of you, maybe this is like a student teacher, like maybe, like, I mean, I'm not talking about kids, like, like a elementary school teacher dating their student, or even a high school student, like, or anything like that. This would be more like if it was at the university level or something, and, two people met or something. But it does not have to be an educational thing. This could just be somebody who has status. There's somebody here who has status, and there seems to be, or this could indicate that you are signing a legal contract with somebody, and maybe that's what's new here. Okay, but we have the Two of Sky here, so there's a sense of truce or balance. So there seems to be something in whatever this partnership or relationship is that maybe at a stalemate right now, or where there's decisions to be made, and maybe it's saying you don't need to make them quite yet. If you are married, this could also have to do with your spouse and what's happening with them as well. So I don't know, very interesting. Or maybe somebody's undecided about wanting to get married, because to me, Crook and Foil could be about legalizing a situation. So there seems like there's some legal aspect to this, or authority aspect to this, where there's an uncertainty here in your relationship house. So take it as it resonates for you. Overall, you have Anubis. So yeah, there's a sense of wanting to protect yourself, wanting to protect your boundaries. You want to find balance, because we have Temperance here, okay? This is definitely a card of trying to, this is called the Grace card in this deck. So how do you navigate, how do you walk across this little bridge with the water around it without falling into the water? But you have the Ten of Sea also. Now, Ten of Sea has a strong family vibe, but this is also about the culmination of your wishes. I feel like whatever this is about, whether this is a new job, whether this is, I've decided to go to school abroad, whether this is about a new business partnership. And again, depending on who, it's going to be different for everybody, as this is not a specific reading. But definitely I feel like somebody has taken a trip somewhere. Someone has jumped for it. Maybe somebody has said, oh, I've always wanted to go to school overseas, or, I've wanted to do a certain thing. And maybe you've picked up and relocated, and maybe now you're feeling homesick. That's a strong vibe in this reading. Like there's this kind of craving of home and family. But there's also the sense that this is something that you have wished for. So I think it's saying, like, stick it out. Whatever it is, don't worry, stick it out. I feel like you're going for what you love, but a lot of times we find that when we make a change, it's very hard to let go of the past. It's very hard to let go of the familiar. Even if we were not satisfied before and now we're like, this was my dream and now I'm going to do it. I can relate to this. I remember when I went to school in England the first time, I really, really wanted to go. And then I met somebody, and then I had gotten engaged, and then I was just like, then I ended up going over and feeling, miserable and homesick because I thought, I want to be home now, So I don't know. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but it's I understand that kind of energy where you get the thing that you want, and you didn't realize that maybe there was going to be this level of homesickness about the change, or a sense of nostalgia for what you left behind. So I think it's just saying this is something that will evaporate with time. I mean, I think you are going to feel better about it. Okay, so here's your essential oil card. This is the repellent card. And the trigger statement is, I am under attack. The key word is shielded. Okay, there's a lot here about wanting to be shielded, wanting to kind of fold in on yourself a little bit. So the trigger statement is, I'm under attack. The true statement is, I am strong. You will clearly see what you are taking on from outside influences and release. Your energetic boundaries are fortified. Okay, so this also adds the dimension to this reading of saying that there's some aspect of this that there's some aspect of what's going on here that maybe you're picking up the feelings of others around you. I mean, you are very, very sensitive. Nepenthes here in the 7th house, and Pisces does tend to be a very psychic sign. So it may be, like, let's just say you've separated from your family, and let's just say your parents are upset and worried that you went away. Maybe you're taking on some of their feelings, okay? That's a possibility here. Again, that's just by way of example. It doesn't have to be that specific situation. But there's definitely a sense of here of just being clear about who you are, what it is that you want, and focusing on what the aspect is of what you want. And really focusing on the aspect of whatever you're doing that you love. And that's where your focus needs to be, not maybe your worry about people around you. Or like I said, if people are criticizing you for the change that you've made, you want to be able to stand strong and say, no, this is what I chose. Even if you are having doubts about certain aspects of it, this is what you chose. Because it does seem to me that you are going to get to a good place with it, where you want to be. This is just kind of a thing that's going on right now. So yeah, something about this does feel oddly specific, but perhaps you can let me know in the comments what you think about this reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you towards the end of October.